Hi, friends. Welcome to the Good Friends, Better Enemies podcast. My name is Tyrone, and as always, I am with Jay. How the hell are you, Jay?
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
And that's the end of our show. He said good night, so have a good one, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping by. This afternoon, or rather this evening, whenever it is you're consuming this content, we are taking in the WWF Superstars from May 1st, 1993. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. This week we are doing another one of our much ballyhooed watch-along episodes, which means we are going to watch this episode and we are going to discuss the ins and outs of the WWF landscape at the time and have a little bit of fun and some beer while we do it. So, Tyrone, you want to give us a little countdown here, pal?
Sounds good, my friend. When I say 3, 2, 1, play, we're going to go on play. So we're going to go 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh, I love this old logo, the old Superstars logo. Love the old set.
And my God, we're starting it off with the Undertaker. Like, come on. You can't get much better than this in 93.
Yeah, this is outstanding. This was a lot of fun back in the days when it was a lot of enhancement talent. And then you'd have somebody main event the card, you know, a couple of stars, or sometimes you'd have a star taking on a mid-carder. But this was so much fun back in the day. This is the great way of getting over your talent.
I miss the interview stage that we have here. As you can see, like, I also miss Ray Rougeau.
I don't. He's on WWE programming every week.
Yeah, but we don't watch the French programming.
Oh, that's true.
Or at least I don't. I mean, no. I do parler le français. I don't know about you, but
no, I don't watch it either. But I am a big fan of Ray Rougeau. Who was your favorite? Who did you prefer, Jacques or Raymond?
I mean, Jacques, because the Mountie.
I don't know. I always had a soft spot for Raymond. I always loved when he would do the slam jams back in the mid 90s as well. It was either him or Doc Hendricks to do the slam jams in our local market here of the Greater Toronto area.
I weirdly always associated Ray Rougeau with Ray Combs.
Why?
Because I guess their names are Ray and they're both short with dark hair. That's the only thing I got, but
and it looks like Ray Rougeau combs his mustache.
Yeah, sure, let's go with that. But for all of you younger viewers who don't know who Ray Combs is, he was the host of Family Feud long before Steve Harvey.
No. He was Mr. Dress Up.
That's Ernie Combs, bud.
Oh, my bad. I was thinking Casey and Finnegan were going to do a run-in on this week's episode of Superstars, or maybe the Tickle Trunk. I don't know.
If you can incorporate a Tickle Trunk into Superstars, I'm all about it.
I feel like that should have been the name for the Undertaker's most infamous match, the casket match. Call it a Tickle Trunk match instead, and you maybe would have got some butts in the seats. You know what I mean?
I think that the casket match put enough butts in the seats for the most part. I mean, there were some misses, but let's be real. It was a fantastic concept. Only when Taker... Actually, was there ever a casket match that Taker was not involved in?
I want to say there was one with Kane maybe and Bray Wyatt at some point. I don't know. It's hard to say. You know, after like 2011, my memory of the WWE is very, very fuzzy. I was very, very invested in engaged in the product for the most part until 2011. And then after that, I just kind of fell off, and I was bits and pieces.
It sounds like you're everyday, just bits and pieces.
Kibbles and bits, my friend. Kibbles and bits.
Look at this commentary trio right now. You got Macho Man Randy Savage in his finest tie-dye and cowboy hat. Jerry Lawler looking like he's part of the Knights of Templar. And then Vince McMahon in his weird powdered blue suit.
And shoulder pads galore.
He is jacked, though. Like, Vince is in better shape than both of these guys that he is surrounded by.
I have to say, though, I know you're not the biggest Lawler mark, but I am a big fan of this look that Lawler has. He has that blazer that he wore for commentary for a lot of his run during the Monday Night Raw, at least in the early years of Raw. But he also has the shirt and tie underneath as well. I like this look for Lawler.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. And I know he doesn't listen to the show, so that's why I'm going to say it. I feel like my father-in-law has the same suit in his closet.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. I mean, if I could dress like Captain Crunch and get away with it, I would too.
Well, and here we go. We're going to start it off with the head shrinkers coming on down with Afa. God damn, the head shrinkers were so offensive when you look back on it, but also amazing. Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Scott Bozo. What the fuck is going on right now?
I don't think his name was Bozo, bud.
It might have been Bazo or Bazoo.
Yeah.
I don't know. But come on, he looks like a bozo.
Bozo. Bozo the clown. Oh, look at that. Hey, he's taking a page out of your book, picking a winner there.
Sometimes you just got to dig for gold and hope you find it.
That's it. Yeah. Well, this is a very interesting time in the Fed. I mean, we're really in a transitional period here. We're still going to actually right now as we speak during this particular Superstars taping in May of 1993, Hulk Hogan was the World Wrestling Federation champion. He was going to be defending the title against Yokozuna at the King of the Ring pay-per-view coming up, the inaugural King of the Ring pay-per-view coming up in Dayton, Ohio in a few short weeks' time. And of course, we had Bret Hart facing Yokozuna at the WrestleMania 9 pay-per-view that year. Yoko won the title with Mr. Fuji throwing some salt into Bret's eyes, and then Hogan comes out and saves the day and gets an impromptu title shot, and Hogan goes over. Hogan must pose. But definitely a transitional time in the company. What are your memories of 93 there, bud?
Sorry, I'm just watching this right now, and it's blowing my mind how quick Fatu is moving in the ring.
It is. Yeah, he is moving like a cat.
Like, oh my God. And you look at how the Samoans were treated then, and you look at them now with the head of the table, it is just mind-blowing. But you asked my memories of 93, is that what you just said?
Yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts on, like, it's definitely a transitional time in the company. They are going from the golden years, the Federation years, the rock and wrestling, to the lack of a better term, now kind of starting to ingratiate themselves, dip a toe into the new generation era.
So I know 93 gets crapped on a lot for terrible gimmicks and terrible matches and this and that, but I mean, I love 93. You and I have spoken about this before. WrestleMania 9 has been critically torn apart as a terrible WrestleMania. I love it.
I really enjoy WrestleMania 9 too, and actually I enjoy WrestleMania 8 as well. They're two of the most bastardized pay-per-views in WrestleManias anyway, and I can think of far worse ones in my mind than those two.
I'm not going to agree with you on 8. You and I have very different opinions on a lot of 8, but you look at 9, and I think it was perfect until the Hogan-Yoko feud. I thought that was unnecessary. I get why they did it, because it's Hulk Hogan, it's Vince McMahon. They had this romance that they hated each other, they loved each other. You always got to put the belt on Hogan. I'm sure if you've heard this podcast before, you know my feelings on Bret Hart. But Bret Hart got the Raw deal, and there we go. The Head Shrinkers take the win. I don't think there was any surprise there that the Head Shrinkers beat Bozo.
I was really hoping that Bozo would go over. I heard it was his birthday.
But I think that Bret Hart got the Raw deal at Mania 9, and I feel like the King of the Ring was the way to make him happy to a degree.
Oh, cannibalism. That's nice.
Well, you know what? Every now and then cannibalism needs to be addressed.
That's fair. Absolutely. It's more of a PSA than anything else. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, obviously I'm going to agree because I'm a big Bret Hart fan, but I think putting the title on Hogan was the wrong move, especially if you were just going to have Hogan then turn around at the next pay-per-view and drop it to Yoko. I didn't see the point of it. He wasn't on TV much. He wasn't doing much for business. I mean, I don't even think that he was really doing a lot of house shows at the time because of his filming schedule. So to me, it was a miscalculation. I think it was more of a reactionary thing that Vince thought, okay, well, I have Hogan. I can get one more main event out of him, sort of in a back, behind the scenes kind of way. Love the event center. The old event center was so cool.
I was just going to say, Jay, I'm popping hard for this right now.
Yeah, this is awesome. Gene Okerlund. But yeah, I mean, if you think about it, the way that it all went down, I mean, I would think that anybody who was in the position to book this pay-per-view, the WrestleMania 9, in hindsight would have looked at it a few months later and been like, probably a misstep there. I think it was more reactionary thinking you have Hogan, so we got to do something big with him.
And other than the Hogan Bret Hart thing, there was one match on Mania 9 that made zero sense to me whatsoever. And that was Bob Backlund and Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't hate the match, but I also kind of hated the match, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, but I think that was another case of, as we watched the Steiner brothers cut a promo with that old green screen background with their logo on it, the University of Michigan logo. I think that it was another attempt to kind of usher in the old school, like the new school past the old school. So you had somebody like Razor Ramon, who was fairly new character at the time. He had just come in '92, the year previous. Have him go over against a really established name in the New York territory. Bob Backlund had held the title for several years back in the late 70s and 80s. As we see Shawn Michaels cutting a promo on the event center now with the Intercontinental title in tow, with the white leather strap in the background.
Yeah, okay, but that's all fine and dandy. That I see what you're saying about having Razor beat Bob Backlund. He was established and whatnot. But in '93, we're talking almost 10 years since Backlund had been a thing. It doesn't, like, you can look back at current product now and be like, oh, it's 2021, 10 years ago, it was Randy Orton on top. Well, that's not going to change because these guys have a different shelf life. Back then, no one knew who Bob Backlund was. If you were under the age of 15, you didn't know who Bob Backlund was.
Yeah, I can't argue that. I mean, I think that there's definitely a segment of the audience that probably had a soft spot for him from growing up watching him. It's not dissimilar from us. I mean, if you look at us growing up, we see some of the guys that we grew up watching when they're on TV now, we pop for them. But there's definitely a lot of wrestling fans that watch today's current product that wouldn't be familiar with people from certainly the '93. Even the Attitude Era would be quite fuzzy for them. They might know them from appearances or being alluded to, but yeah,
see,
definitely.
I'm only going to disagree with you on this because we have the network now, and I think a lot of younger fans know who these older people are. Like, you can't look at somebody who is, again, say 13, 14. They're going to know who Stone Cold Steve Austin is. What are we watching?
Smoking
is
Guns.
Is this a Smoking Guns promo?
Yeah, it looks like a vignette for the Smoking Guns.
Oh my God. I miss these vignettes to bring. Oh my God, these mullets.
I love it.
This is the best Billy Gunn ever. Screw badass Billy Gunn. Screw Mr. Ass. Screw the one. You need Smoking Gun Billy Gunn.
We need to grow matching mustaches, I think.
Well, you need to learn how to grow facial hair properly, and then we can.
And you need to learn how to grow less, I think.
I can't help what I was given, sir.
If you say
maybe
so.
Maybe if you actually learn to grow up, you can grow a goddamn mustache.
That's not nice.
I just want to see you with a pistol shooting some cacti.
I would like to shoot a cacti.
Man.
I'd like to shoot into a cacti.
The ring announcer on this is Mike McGurk. Do you
remember
Mike McGurk? White Shadow. Who is White Shadow, Jay? Do a little Google search and find out who White Shadow is.
I think remember that movie Powder? I think it might be his cousin.
I honestly think Powder came into my work today and it scared me.
Okay. And now we have Virgil coming to the ring, ladies and gentlemen.
Which kind of scares me even more.
Yes, he had catchy entrance music. I'll give him that. Looks like he just finished a shift at Foot Locker with those tights.
Yeah, I was never a Virgil fan. Even as a kid, I was like, no, I'm over this guy. We can do better.
I don't think anybody really cared. Like, it was just a thing that, yeah, he got his obligatory revenge over Ted DiBiase for being, bullied all those years. And after that, it was like, who cares?
But even the revenge over DiBiase, he got that with Piper hardcore cheering him on and in his corner. And I think people were more excited to see Roddy Piper than they were Virgil.
Oh, there's no argument for me whatsoever on that. I mean, if I had the opportunity to meet Roddy Piper or Virgil, I would probably want to meet one of the two.
Yeah, and Virgil might pay you to meet him. You never know.
I tell you that I met him at the WrestleCon in 2016. We were checking
but
in.
I also don't. You didn't tell me, but I also don't care because it doesn't sound like a riveting story. It's Virgil. I don't care.
It's really not riveting. He was just more or less standing in the lobby waiting to be recognized by people. I'm not trying to disparage the guy. He was a nice guy, but that's sort of the vibe he got. Was he was just kind of standing around in the lobby waiting for people to recognize him while we were checking in.
I know that he apparently charges a lot more for an autograph than he should. So when I got a pro wrestling crate in the mail one time and his autograph was in it, I just started laughing hysterically.
Yeah. Oh, that's like, yeah. I can't imagine. I mean, I think that he did actually offer to sign something for $20, and I'm like, can I check in? Like, do you want to sign my room key? What are you trying to do here? But anyways, White Shadow.
You probably could have brought him up to the room and charged him for your mini bar.
Yeah, that would have been good. Yeah. Maybe just have him like play the Virgil gimmick and ask him to tell him to bring my bags up or something.
He has a lot of loose skin on the back of his head, as we just saw there.
Who, White Shadow?
No, Virgil. What the hell was that finishing move, by the way? That was
almost like a modified Russian leg sweep, it looked like.
Yeah, that's not a finishing move.
No, it certainly isn't. Well, at one time, I'm sure it was. It was probably the DDT of the 50s.
And they a King of the Ring report. Here we go, Jay.
Love that old King of the Ring logo.
I agree. Fuck it. I love the Ico Pro.
You gotta want it, man. You gotta want it.
If they made it now, I would 100% order it and give it to all of my friends.
Yeah, and then you find out it's just like milk powder. There's no nutritional value to it whatsoever.
Well, but would you really be surprised at that?
Not at all, no. I'm still waiting. Speaking of like edible WWE products, I'm still waiting. I mentioned this in a previous episode. I really want to see for next holiday season, next Christmas, I want an in-your-house gingerbread set, damn it.
Hold on. Looking at that bracket there, I didn't realize that they did like a 1 through 8 seeded bracket for this King of the Ring.
I didn't realize either. But I love these old brackets and stuff. I mean, tournaments are something that were played out, maybe 15 years ago or 20 years ago, but I think they definitely would work now.
Can you pull up briefly or quickly the original King of the Ring bracket so we can see who the number 8 seed was? Who did Brett beat in the first round?
Not sure. Just give me a sec here.
Because I'm sorry, I remember a good chunk of people in there, and the fact that it's not either Curtis Hughes or Jim Duggan as the 8 seed blows my mind.
Let's have a look here. See at the bracketology.
Oh, and there's the promo for Yoko and Hogan.
Bret Hart got a bye? Yeah, Bret Hart got a bye. Then it was Razor versus Tito Santana, which would have been actually a pretty good match. Mr. Perfect versus Doink. Kamala versus
you're looking
Mr.
at
Hughes.
you're looking at the qualifiers right now, bud.
No, this is the beginning of the brackets.
Yeah, that's the first round. That's the round of 16. That's the qualifiers.
Okay, well, I can't pull up the others
because I know that Lex Luger I think faced Tatanka in the first round of the actual tournament, and it went to a draw.
It's Lex Luger versus Bob Backlund, and it went to a draw.
That was not on the pay-per-view at all.
This is... So I'm telling you, this is the first one I'm looking at. It's the first round. It's television. First round TV.
I don't care about the television. I want the 8-man tournament. The 8th seed. Who was number 8? I see.
The one that's actually on the pay-per-view, you mean?
Yes. I don't know why that was so hard for you to comprehend.
Well, I'm tired, man. Bret Hart pinned Razor Ramon, and then you had Mr. Perfect take on Mr. Hughes, Jim Duggan versus Bam Bam Bigelow, and Lex Luger versus Tatanka.
So Razor Ramon was the 8th seed.
Seems so.
That's weird. Oh, also, what the hell are we watching right now?
I don't know. It feels like something from like a dating hotline infomercial.
Like
Those are the vibes I'm getting right
Brutus
now.
Beefcake's mask is just ridiculous. I'm pretty sure I own those sunglasses that Hulk Hogan's wearing, though.
This must be Thunder of Paradise time right now.
Yeah, they are way too into this promo.
Yeah, God forbid you fly Hogan to TV to do some promo work. This to me, like, seriously though, like, I'm not trying to be overly critical, but this to me is like it devalues the whole thing when the champion can't even show up to do promo work, at the building in front of a crowd. They have to do these cut-ins and stuff like that. It's like you can just tell he doesn't care. It's brutal. Now, of course, you got Jimmy Hart there as well. He's always going to be by their side. Beefcake, I don't know what Beefer's doing there. I mean, I guess, well, he's got the Ico Pro t-shirt on, which is fun. Gene's right in the thick of it. Put that cigarette out. And it looks to me like these guys have been hitting some Bud Lights for the better part of the afternoon before. They're pulling a Billy Martin here.
Well, no, we know why Beefer's there. Beefer's there because the Mega Maniacs, was that the tag team at WrestleMania 9?
Yeah.
So he's there because he's Hogan's tag team partner, and Hogan didn't have many friends at this time.
Yeah, but I mean, they weren't a tag team anymore at this point. Like, not in the traditional sense. I mean, Hogan was the champion; they were singles again. So, I don't know. I feel like you would have gotten a lot more out of the promo had you just had Hogan by himself. Just fly a green screen down there, and you can do it on a soundstage or something if you don't want him in person. But that just looks so Bush League to me. Like, it just makes it seem like Hogan doesn't care at all.
Well, Hogan didn't care at all. He only wanted his money.
Of course.
He didn't want the vitamins and the prayers and the training. No, he wanted the dollar bills. And Hulk Hogan, if you ever listen to this podcast, come fight me, bro.
Well, this is what I'm saying, though. This is exactly my point going backwards is it was an absolute miscalculation to put the title on Hogan again in the first place.
I'm sorry. We have Doink the Clown coming out right now, and this is one of the best gimmicks of this era ever.
Hands down. Completely agree.
But
it got watered down something fierce not too long after this, but when he debuted, he was outstanding.
Oh, 100%. Like, Evil Doink is one of the greatest things ever. It scared me as a kid. And even
the theme music.
Even as an adult right now, I look at this, I'm like, no, if this guy showed up at my window or something like that, I'd be losing my mind.
Yeah, no, it was an outstanding gimmick. I loved it.
Although I do think we could have tucked his hair in a little bit there because that's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He's definitely maybe you cut.
Oh no! He's tucking the hair in right now.
Yeah, probably got word from somebody. Tony Chimmel's ringside collecting jackets and being like, "Tuck in your mullet, bro."
And here comes the perfect one. I actually owned until about 2 years ago. I had an original 1991 WWF press of the Mr. Perfect T-shirt, and
what happened to it?
I gave it away to a friend of mine. I'm like, well, this will never fit me because I'm a fat piece of shit, but here you go. You're a less fatter piece of shit, so you can have this.
I kind of think I'd want to hang on to something like that just for the sake of nostalgia.
Yeah, I thought about that, but at the same time, I was like, you know what? He was a Mr. Perfect fan, and he appreciated it, so I gave the gift.
That's fair. You are nothing if not magnanimous. Well, I mean, if I'm not mistaken,
did you just call me fat in a word that I don't know?
No, it means generous.
Oh yeah, I'm not that most of the times, but I am sometimes.
So, if I'm not mistaken, did these two not have a feud going into this before the King of the Ring? I seem to remember some sort of interaction maybe during the WrestleMania pay-per-view, or am I mistaken here?
No, the WrestleMania pay-per-view, the interaction was with Shawn and Perfect. So I don't think that they actually ever had a match, Doink and Perfect, but looking at this, like just seeing Matt Bourne and Kurt Hennig against each other, that is a match made in heaven.
Mm-hmm. No, this is really good. I'm enjoying this. I remember hearing a funny story though about Doink, that after the matches, a lot of times he'd go to the bar and have drinks with the boys afterwards, and a lot of times he'd still have some. He maybe didn't shower quite that well after his matches. He'd still have face paint kind of around his eyes and stuff, and he just looked like a train wreck, especially after a couple of silver bullets and a few shots of Jack.
Yeah, but that's how you look like on your best days.
On my which?
On your best day, you look like
on my
that.
best days, yeah. No, I think I look a little better than that. I mean, I don't wear the white makeup. The only time I put white makeup on is when I'm trying to cover circles under my eyes. I usually use white out.
Really? Like the pen or the dab?
It depends on how big the circle is, pal.
That's fair. Sometimes you got to do a little bit more.
That's it, yeah.
So right now we have Mr. Perfect in control over Doink the Clown in this King of the Ring qualifying match.
Yeah, well, this is interesting too,
which also kind of spoiler alert. If you paid attention to us earlier when Jay ran down the bracket, you know who's winning this. Also, it happened 28 years ago, so you should know who's winning it.
I was just gonna say, spoiler alert from 1993. It's probably a section of the audience that wasn't even born in 1993. So,
I mean, we were barely born in 93.
I was 10.
I was 7.
And you still act it today.
And look it.
That's true, yes. You had that much facial hair at 7.
Yeah, I came out the womb with a full beard, the full head of hair, smoking a cigarette. You know, that's how we roll.
Yes. It's good. Yeah, I like that. That's very good. Well, we got Doink the Clown going to the top rope here. That's sort of uncharacteristic. I mean, you'd see him do some aerial tactics here and there, but he was more of a ground and pound individual. Wouldn't you say so?
It's not uncharacteristic at all. His finishing move was a top rope maneuver.
He didn't do that much aerial offense.
The whoopee cushion was his finishing move, and that was a top rope maneuver.
That's fine, but I wouldn't say that he was an overtly aerial wrestler. He wasn't a high flyer. He wasn't a lucha libre.
No, he wasn't, but he still went to the top rope quite often to end his matches, so it's not that surprising to see it. It'd be more surprising if he did, I don't even know.
What he
a
just
Hurricane
did?
Rana? If he did a Hurricane Rana, I'd be surprised.
I don't think they were doing Hurricane Ranas in 1993. Maybe Scotty Steiner was.
Yeah, they were doing the Frankensteiner. Sorry, not the Hurricane Rana.
Yeah. You know what's a move that we haven't seen in a long time that I wish we'd see more of is the Brain Buster.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Atomic Drop, and I was going to get right on top of that.
You're going to get Atomic Top on me?
Oh, sometimes you need it.
Yeah. Well, I do think the Brain Buster, when executed well, looks like an extremely devastating move.
Almost any move, when executed well, looks like a devastating move, though. But I know exactly what you mean about the Brain Buster. It is so fantastic.
Oh, there's a double axe off the top. Okay, maybe he's a little bit more aerial than I remember.
That weird smile with his long black hair coming out the back is terrifying right now.
Yeah, he just looks like he doesn't care at all. He gives no cares.
No, he looks like the carny that's at your local carnival smoking a cigarette out back, meeting kids if he has to.
Yeah. Hey, kid, you want a half gram?
Hey, tell your mom I say hi.
Yeah. She sees my clown nose. Tell her to send it home with you.
Why is it when we talk about Doink we talk like this? What's going on?
I don't know. I think we both ate sandpaper or something. Oh, there's a backslide there. You don't see that too often anymore either, a backslide.
Yeah, because it's not believable anymore. It's at that point that it's like a body slam. No one's using a body slam as a big move anymore.
Well, it hasn't been a big move when was the last time it was a big move? I guess when Davey Boy Smith used it as a finish, the power slam. I mean, I know it's not a body slam, but it's close enough, right?
I would say the last actual body slam that mattered may have been in '93 when Lex Luger body slammed Yokozuna.
Yeah, there were moments here and there. Like I remember the first time I saw Shawn Michaels body slam Vader, I thought that was pretty impressive. Or even Shawn body slamming Sid, I thought was pretty impressive just because of Shawn's size. Oh, perfect plex there.
Oh, perfect plex. There we go.
Love the hooking of the fingers.
What's happening? Why didn't he count it?
I don't know. We don't have the benefit of sound right now because we're doing this watch along.
I do love the perfect plex, though. I think it is fantastic.
I just clued in here that his eyes remind me of Jack Nicholson's eyes. They kind of have the same sort of. Yeah,
I think that was part of the gimmick, though. Like the clown makeup and everything. Yeah, he was going for the Jack Nicholson Joker.
It could be. I mean, his eyes are almost a dead ringer for Nicholson's.
So we just leave the match right now to go to an update with Gorilla Monsoon?
I'm just happy to get Gorilla Monsoon on my screen.
I need to get more sunglasses like his with the tinted shades.
Those aren't sunglasses. Those are his actual glasses.
Bam Bam and Sherry Martel, that was a thing?
Yeah, that was a tape. You didn't know that?
I genuinely did not know.
No,
but I'm watching it now.
No, I don't. I don't.
Yeah, this is something that does not hold up now.
No, absolutely not.
At least Tatanka comes.
I didn't need a Bam Bam Bigelow Tatanka feud either. I don't think.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I just love Bam Bam. So if he's in a match, I'm happy.
No, I do too. Wow, Sherry.
Yeah, Sherry as a fucking babyface manager did not make sense to me. She was so much better as a heel.
Yeah, and she, I'm not trying to be critical, but she didn't look her best there either. I think she might have been going through a point in her career where she was maybe out on the town a little bit too much after the matches. I don't know if you agree with me or not. But
we've all been there, though.
Oh, of course we have. Absolutely.
I think that Bam Bam was looking fantastic at this point, though. Like, he was in his prime in 93.
Yeah, 93, 94, I think were probably Bam Bam's best years in the company. That's the one that when I think of Bam Bam in WWF, I don't think of him in the 80s with Oliver Humperdinck. And I don't even think of him. I mean, I do think of the LT match, I guess, but I more think of him in 93, 94 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I always think the LT match, but then right behind it is the King of the Ring final with him and Brett.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that was and you have to give Brett credit for that tournament. He wrestled 3 different matches against 3 different skilled guys, and no 2 matches were the same.
Look at Bammer's chest here. You can tell he just came out of a match and he got chopped the shit out of.
Yeah. So true.
Now, Tatanka, what were your thoughts on Tatanka? Were you a fan? Were you not a fan? Did you think it was racist? Was it okay?
I didn't think it was really racist because he was a Native American. So you can see right there. You see that big, huge bald spot there? They actually he had to stop dyeing his hair red in the center because he was losing his hair because of it. It was killing his hair. So that's why you see going into the latter part of 93 and in 94, he stopped dyeing his hair that color.
As a kid, I really liked Tatanka, but going back and watching his matches now, he was not a great in-ring worker.
I think he was decent. He was never somebody that really connected with me. I thought he was all right. I think when you're like, 8, 9, 10, 12 years old, it's kind of, you kind of inherently root for the baby. Look at this guy. He's shredded, eh?
Oh my God, Larry London is my new hero. I really want him to beat Typhoon. I know he won't, but come on, I'm cheering for Larry in this match.
I want nobody to beat Typhoon, but no. Going back to Tatanka, I mean, yeah, he was all right. He never really connected with me, though. I didn't have a problem with him. I didn't dislike him, but I don't know. I think I kind of preferred him as a heel, actually, in the $1 Million Corporation.
Agree 100%. Also, looking at Typhoon here, he had definitely slimmed down from his days as the Natural Disasters.
Yeah, I kind of wish the tugboat gimmick came back into effect.
No, never for me. That tugboat gimmick was dead from day one to me.
I just loved his outfit.
Well, you got it in 2001 when he came out for the Mania 17 Gimmick Battle Royal.
That's true. I did get it recently, 20 years ago.
Oh my God, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it makes you want to take a big swig of your beer, doesn't it?
No, yeah, I guess so. It also makes me sad to think that was like Vince McMahon's rookie year, pretty much, wrestling.
Yeah, maybe 2 years prior. Jeez, look at this! Larry Lundell. He is doing his very best Ricky Morton mullet impression here, is he not?
Yeah, mixed with a little bit of Dr. Tom from the Heavenly Bodies, but I'm enjoying every second of it.
This is what I was saying earlier about these enhancements.
He's bumping hard for Big Fred, though.
He sure is. I hope he doesn't shock his back too much.
Oh, you know what?
Fred was the master of that.
You don't see that move enough anymore as a big man. Just throwing them in the corner and using your gut.
You just don't see big men anymore.
That's true. There really aren't a lot of just like big fat guys anymore, are there?
No, well, not in wrestling. I think, like in general population, there's probably more than ever. But in terms of wrestling,
when I look, but when I look in the mirror, I see one every day. But in terms of wrestling, I miss those big fat guys.
Especially the ones that could bump, right? Like even like a Bam Bam, like you were saying before. Like Bam Bam was huge, but he could move. So you look at Fred. Look at him move here. Wow, he got some hang time on that.
But you also look at Earthquake. Earthquake was another one of those. Vader was another one of those. And then you ended up with shitheads like Viscera / Mabel. No disrespect to the dead, but he was a terrible worker.
Yeah, well, I think that's partly to do with the booking. I mean, if you'd booked him to be sort of play to his strengths, I think it would have been a little different. But they tried to get too much out of that. They tried to get too much candy out of that pinata.
Well, even looking at Yokozuna, the man could work so hard, but then he got to that point where he almost couldn't move.
He ate himself out of a job is what he did.
And out of a life.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Yoko. He was one of my favorites growing up. I loved Yokozuna. I was so sad to see how it all went down for him. I mean, had he kept himself healthy, he might have been having a much longer career. I mean, he was only 32 when he passed away.
Yeah, I know. It's really sad. Jay, Lex Luger, do you prefer the Narcissist or do you prefer the All-American, or are you more of a Four Horsemen NWA guy?
In the Fed, I prefer the Narcissist over the All-American, just because I think that the All-American stuff was just being force-fed, especially since you just had Hogan drop the title to Yoko at King of the Ring, and then like 3 weeks later you had the Lex Express. It was just not organic. I think that the Narcissist gimmick played much more to Lex Luger's natural personality, as opposed to him trying to, kayfabe being a babyface. I did enjoy his work in WCW as well, but short answer, I think probably his WCW run was the best he had. The WWF run was underwhelming.
Well, also going off of the difference between 1993 wrestling and now, this is our main event, ladies and gentlemen. The Narcissist Lex Luger versus a man whose name I didn't even catch. I just saw a sweet mullet, and I think his name might be Terry, because that's what he looks like.
It may very well be. And now, if he was part of that faction in WCW, his name would have been Terrence. What was the name of that faction again? The one with Terry Reynolds?
The York Foundation.
The York Foundation. He would have been... What would have Lex's full name been? Would have been Lawrence?
Yeah, I guess so, because, that's his name,
Lawrence
right?
Luger.
No, but what's his shoot name? Isn't it like Lawrence?
His real name's Larry Fole.
I knew it was something that the pronunciation didn't make sense to me as a child, and it kind of reminded me of Poffo.
Yeah.
So yeah, he would have been Mr. Lawrence Fole.
Yeah, I guess so. Lawrence Luger.
This mirror gimmick makes me so happy. I wish we could bring this back. Like, they tried it, 10, 12 years ago with Chris Masters, and it just didn't work.
Didn't they try it with Cody Rhodes as well?
Kinda. Cody Rhodes was his face was broken. So
That's right.
He was hideous in his mind, even though it's Cody Rhodes and he's a beautiful, beautiful man and we love him.
Yeah.
Because as I've spoken about before, nothing about the Rhodes family is ever wrong. You got Dusty, you got Cody, and my God, you got Goldust.
Yes, in fact you do. I was just thinking while you were saying that, though, because I'm watching what's on the screen here. I mean, I think that this might be a big part of why so many gimmicks from our childhood and from 20 years ago, 25, 30 years ago are still so not relevant, but I guess relevant in our minds or memorable for us. It's because of situations like this. You had this
Jay, sorry, not to cut you off here, but sure. Do you see who the referee is right now?
Yeah, it's Bill Alfonso, is it not?
That is Fonzie, and also this match just didn't happen. Lex Luger just knocked him out, and now he's posing again, and we're
knocked him out with the forearm.
That's our main event, ladies and gentlemen.
The metal plate in the forearm. Yeah, I was just saying that this is a big reason why these gimmicks endure so much and these characters endure, because they had this kind of platform to get the gimmicks over. Nowadays, they have their gimmicks, they send them out with them, and you don't even really know what the gimmick is before they start performing it. It's weird.
Yeah, but you look at 93 and they had some terrible gimmicks. Like, I'm sorry, we're talking about WrestleMania 9. The one that comes to my mind is Giant Gonzalez.
Of course.
That was not a good gimmick. Like, his whole, I'm going to wear a bodysuit of abs and body hair, that made no sense to me whatsoever.
Just like the Warrior.
No, but the Warrior at least was energetic. Like, Giant Gonzalez had to struggle to get in the ring. He had to use chloroform. Oh my God, he's on my fucking screen right now.
I meant the wardrobe. The Warrior came back in 92 and he had that singlet with the painted abs and the guy was shredded. It made no sense.
The only good thing about Giant Gonzalez is Harvey Whippleman, and I will say that on record.
I heard he's a really nice guy, and I heard that he was really kind-hearted, but no, he couldn't work, and he was one of those guys that was just rushed out based on his size. I mean, if he had a performance center back then,
he was a legit 7'8", 7'9", something like that.
He was enormous. Look how small Whippleman is beside him.
No, he's not beside him. He's a little bit behind. They're doing a little camera work there, but I know exactly what you mean. Like, Undertaker is a 6'9", 6'10", and he dwarfed him in the goddamn ring.
Good old Hacker. Speaking of singles,
funny story about Hacksaw. I went and saw him when he was doing like his one-man comedy tour, and I got him to sign a 2x4, and it was so nice. But his wife was there, and she insisted on taking a photo with me in the group because apparently we made his day. So I just want to give a shout out to Deborah Duggan. She was a fucking beauty, and if you're ever listening to this, Deborah, we love you and we thank you.
Absolutely. I follow Jim Duggan on Twitter, and he's constantly posting photos of himself and his wife. Before the pandemic, they were going all over the country doing these meet and greets and seeing the country and doing road trips. And that to me sounds like the perfect, like the most unbelievable like way to spend your retirement years, going on road trips with the woman you love and seeing the country and seeing the continent and all that kind of thing. It just sounds outstanding. So good on them, and here's to the Duggans.
Well, and you could tell when you met them, like they've probably been married for, I know their kids are in their mid to late 20s, so I'm going to assume they've been married for pushing 30 years.
Yeah.
And they are still in love and want to spend every minute together with each other. I've been married for just over 3 years, and I'm pretty sure my wife already hates me.
No, that's not true.
Jay, that's our episode. We're pretty much done.
Yeah, leaving it on a high note there. We see Bret the Hitman Hart balloon. Okay,
oh my God! Next week we're getting Nasties and Kamala versus Money Inc. and Mr. Hughes. Jay, you fucked up by picking the wrong episode.
I don't know. I just saw Doink and Perfect on the picture, and I thought it'd be a good match.
Yeah, all right, I'll give you that.
Oh, I'd love to see that Tito Santana and Razor Ramon match. I love me some Tito.
Well, I guess that we'll have to film another watch or record another watch along down the road, won't we?
Absolutely. Well, we're getting a promo here from the Diamond Stud.
Hey, yo, Chico.
Survey says one more for the bad guy.
Funny story. My wife, who is not a wrestling fan, whenever she sees Razor Ramon, she pictures him as the manliest wrestler that she's ever seen.
Well, because he's oozing machismo.
Exactly.
Oh, and then look at Tito here.
No, this is the Tito I don't like. I don't like the El Matador gimmick.
I liked it when it first started. I think probably by this time you probably could have gone back to just Tito, the seasoned grizzled veteran.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but
I like the El Matador gimmick. Like WrestleMania 8. This is a year and a half later.
I like that they're ending the show on just him going Arriba, like it's 1987 all over again.
And just one more quick observation about this is that you can see here in '93 compared to 2 years earlier on Superstars how much the crowds had diminished. I mean, that was a small building.
Well, Jay, we have finished the watch along. Do you have anything else to say on this?
I think I'm pretty good. I thought it was a decent watch. It brought back some memories. It was fun to see some of that enhancement talent. And, of course, it was always a blast having a good chin wag with you, my friend.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I was kind of hoping for a little bit of Barry Horowitz or Dwayne Gill. We didn't get that. But we got Larry London, who, my God, he was the MVP of the show for me.
Yes, he was a timestamp without question.
Yep, that's one way to put it. But
yes.
I think we might be done for today. Are we done? Yeah,
I think we're all set.
I think we're done. I think I need to go and take a nap now.
I like it. I think that's a good idea. And so, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we would like to thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Good Friends Better Enemies podcast. And we hope that you've enjoyed your listen. We will be back next week with some regularly scheduled programming. But for myself and Tyrone, where can they catch us on our social media channels?
On the Twitter machine, you can find us on good_enemies, and over on the gram, good_enemies.
And for myself and Tyrone, ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to the Good Friends Better Enemies podcast.
Bye.